Hello, beautiful soul. This pick a card reading has found its way to you at the absolute perfect time. This week's reading is for the disheartened or weary soul. So if you need a little bit of guidance in getting your path straightened out, whether it's work, love, relationship, purpose, this is the pick a card reading for you. Hi everyone, welcome back for another oracle card reading for the heart and soul. I am Cheryl Harnish. Hi. And I am the author of the Path of the Soul, Divine Guidance, and Return of Spirit deck. Now for the premiere that on the oracle card reading, I'm sorry for those of you who were asking, I had to take it down because of a technicality. Sorry. However, I'm thinking when I re-record it that I was going to record it live and do a live class teaching with you guys if you're interested in that. But just let me know down in the comments below. And also, people have been asking where the timestamps are. Now, in my videos anyway, it's always pinned to the top of the comment section. So it's the very first comment. Sometimes you have to hit the read more to see all the selections, but they're all there for you, the timestamps, okay? And also where to get my cards, how to contact me for a reading is all in the video description part, okay? And I need to say an incredible thank you to all of you over the last few months who have taken time to buy me a coffee or send me a couple dollars for a donation for the reading. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your support because it keeps this channel ad-free. Have you noticed? There's no annoying ads playing in any of my videos. So I do want to say a huge, tremendous thank you to you, my supporters, all my love. Okay, so let's get into our reading. So in the last card reading, I offered a 2-tier reading so that it could be more personalized to you. I'm hoping that you guys like it. It seems to be popular. Always, talk to me down in the comments because I do read them all. So today's card reading is for the disheartened or weary soul. So even if things aren't extremely difficult for you, we all have our challenges, right? That's the fun of being incarnated. So how we're going to do this today. This back row is going to be choice number 1, our little praying Buddha. Choice number 2 is our manifesting Buddha. And choice number 3 is our peace Buddha. Now, choose one from this back row. And to add to that, we're going to choose one from the front row as well. So this is our Kick Butt Buddha A, Kick Butt Buddha B, I hope you can see him there, and Kick Butt Buddha C. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and A, B, C. Now, as always, take the time if you need to, pause the video to make your choice. And if you feel drawn to choose more than one, you go right ahead. So I'm excited to get started. Let's get into the reading. Hi, group number 1. How are you? For those of you who have chosen our prayers Buddha, we will put him over there and let's see what we have. Okay. 29, speak your truth. Healing with intention. See a little theme starting here. Nice. Doves, which is a really great card because it's talking about cycling from the old to the new. So change for you guys. And the receiving card. Wow. Okay. So there's a lot of healing taking place here. And I always find that coming up to that place and point of healing, whether that's physical or emotional, spiritual, mental, we're usually pushed to our greatest challenges in life. So I have to say that with the cards that have shown up so far, I would say you guys have been having a hard go of things and being forced to really look at your life and look at yourself and look at what's happening in order to bring changes about. But because the Dove's card is here, this tells me that this has been in progress for quite some time. And the work that you've been doing, the mindfulness, the self-growth kind of aspects to this have really helped to shift the energy of what's happening and to shift what is being reflected to you out here in reality. I'm going to be quiet for a minute so I can just select out our cards. And I'm going to take this one. It feels like it's in here. And this one. Okay. So let's put, oh, nice. Okay. The Love card. And I have to say, I love the Love card. Because not only is that talking about, having a really important contribution to make on this planet, and that it's also about coming to a place of really loving yourself and valuing yourself, which so goes along with the Healing with Intention card. And we have another change card, so we have frequency shift. So again, I feel like this is also, again, pointing to you guys really being forced or pushed into, it's almost the feeling of like being pushed into a corner. And, we get confronted with these things in our lives. And at the time, they seem insurmountable or like it's too much and we can't deal with it. But I want to reassure you that we are never given more than we can handle. We do handle it. We can handle it. And it is all a part of our soul's plan. The higher part of us created a plan that would bring us the most growth and expansion to bring us to this point on our path where through these changes, we come more in alignment to our spiritual truth, spiritual understanding, and spiritual knowledge. And so I have to say, with that Love card being up here, this also feels to me like this is hinting to relationships as well. And I mean, self-love and relationships go hand in hand, because any partner that we draw into our lives or are unable to draw into our lives, right? Because it goes twofold, always seems to reflect what lives inside of us, old core beliefs, value system of what we feel we deserve, how we feel we deserve to be loved, how we deserve to receive love, or whether our love and our gifts have value to other people. And so I feel like you guys have been really challenged in the relationship department. And I would say that with this card being here in this, it isn't just only intimate relationships that, because it becomes like a domino effect in all of our relationships. And there's been these challenges coming up for you in these areas to really bring about a healing for you. And that's why we have this Healing with Intention card. Now, I want to try to get it closer because it's difficult to see, but there's thousands of these spirals all through this card. And spirals inside of spirals inside of spirals. So this is a really high energy card. Now, wherever there's spirals, there's growth and expansion, right? So you guys are really in this period of growth, and it feels to me like you almost had that, life gave you a and you went, whoa, I need to like wake up and really get my life in alignment. And with that Healing with Intention card, I want you to note the two colors that are here, predominantly blues and yellows. And those yellows are very much about coming into your own sense of empowerment, of self-empowerment. And I often say this, that it's not about, being aggressive and overly aggressive. It's about being assertive and present, right? Non-reactional. It's like taking action versus reacting, right? Because those are two different things. The other color that's really predominant in this fractal is the blues, And funny enough, blues represent the throat chakra. And in the same reading, you guys also have the Speak Your Truth card. Now, this one really seems to come out in most of the readings. And it's because this is the place that seems to trip us up, because we tend to hold ourselves back and hold back what it is we really have to say to the people who are important to us in our relationships, to even people who are perfect strangers, because, we don't want to rock the boat and we don't want to cause more contention, or we feel like we won't be heard anyway, so why even bother? There's so many things that go on in here that stop us from really expressing ourselves. But what this is talking about with the Healing with Intention card and the Frequency Shift card also coming out in this is this. It's talking about like this period of renewal, of really starting to see your value, your worth, that you do deserve love. Not only do you deserve love, but you are love. The core truth of who you are is you are God incarnated. You are unconditional love underneath all this humanness that's happening here. And this is about you allowing yourself, you beautiful little soul, to be heard, to be seen, to say what needs to be said, whatever it is that's deep inside your heart. And so for many of you, I feel like this will be a time where you are making contact with people, or coming in contact with the people that you are being challenged in a really loving way to come forward and say what it is you need to say. Okay? This is a lot about finding your voice and finding your expression. But what I love is that, we have a lot of personal growth work working and going through these relationship changes. And we also have the Doves card. Now, in this fractal, it looks like almost like these two birds connected at the tail, and they're coming to connect, almost like kissing. And this is talking about cycling from the old to the new. So I feel like for some of you who are in relationship right now, that with these two guys together, there's some sort of change happening in your relationship. And this could have been like coming out of a period where you've had no contact, and things are still perhaps not quite on par as the way you feel they should be. And this situation comes up where you get to express what it is that you need to say. Now, for others of you, it may or may not be a no contact thing and coming back. However, the dynamic is that's working with you within your primary relationships, whether those are friendships or not. With the Doves card here, Doves is love, and Doves represent peace. So I feel like it's talking about a level of peace coming through, having this big talk, the hard talk that perhaps you've been avoiding. But I have to say that this also talks about a cycling of the old to the new for you as a person, not just only within that relationship, okay? Because this is about you coming to that place of really, truly doing the healing work that you need to receive the love and loving relationships that you most absolutely deserve. And not only that, you have the receiving card here, and I love all these soft hues of these purples and greens, definitely represent the heart chakra. Okay, and this is talking about, when our heart hurts, we kind of close off, and we don't mean to. It's just a way of self-preservation and, keeping safe. And this is talking about, like, the message behind this card is that is to allow yourself to have the willingness to receive the love and good that's out here in the world for you. And it may not come from the person you most want it to come to, but it is still there, my love. The love is still there. And it's about you being open to allowing your heart to receive it from possibly another source, or in a renewed way where it comes with no strings attached. It is just pure. It's giving and feeling like that you are respected and that you are worthy. And that's feeling that within yourself and feeling that within your significant relationships. Okay. Now, this is just the first part of your reading. Now it's time to select either A, B, or C, and I'll see you in just a moment. Hi, group number 2. How are you? For those of you who have chosen our Manifesting Buddha, he is my favorite. He's my newest. I like him the best, but don't tell the others. Anyhow, let's see what we have here for you. Ooh, okay, I like that. Resolution. We can all use some resolution in our life. Oh, nice. Okay, creative. Probably one of my most favorite cards of them all. Birth of Angels, and it's a number 44, you guys. And I love Birth of Angels because the biggest message with this card is that you are not alone. You are not alone. The universe, the mothership, however you want to put it, didn't just come and drop you off on this wretched planet to, struggle on your own. They are with you. You are being divinely guided. Now I'm going to get into that more. Let's just get these cards out. Okay. And work. Okay. So I have to say, even before I get the rest of the cards drawn, that this feels very much like a path and purpose sort of vibe to this going on, especially with the creative card and the work card coming out. So let's just see what, we're going to draw 2 more here. And that one is definitely calling me. And one in here, and that's the one. Okay. Nice. Okay. Recognition and fairy magic. Now, with the work card coming out and the creative card coming out, it kind of tells me that as far as path and purpose goes, you guys are in the creative realm. And that creative realm can also be quite spiritual, because intuition and creativity flow from the exact same channel. Okay. And it's just how we utilize that energy out here in the world, whether it's becomes intuitive work or creative work. Now, the thing with the creative card coming up is that it's talking about needing to get grounded, like getting out of your head, out of your thoughts, whatever those things are that are stopping you, whether, it's the overthinking the process, your creative process, whether that is, judging yourself that you aren't good enough, that what you're creating or making isn't good enough, or that the world doesn't want what you have to share. And, the platform of creativity is quite vast. So this covers everything and anything where you are bringing stuff to fruition out here in the world. And I feel like I need to reassure you with that work card coming out that this is a part of your path and purpose. It's very much a part of who you are as a soul. Now, with the work card coming out, see how it is a mirrored reflection on each side. And what this is talking about is needing balance in your work. So I feel like for some of you, you guys have your 9 to 5. I'm sorry, the traffic is quite loud right now. I apologize. Your 9 to, you've got your 9 to 5 and you're feeling this frustration because you want to really just do only your craft, your mastery. And for others of you, it's about how to make your mastery or whatever your full-time work. And I feel like I need to say to you that at this point, it's really important that you have a steady income coming in, and to really be at a place of patience with this process of your creative work becoming your full-time work, and that it's okay to have that 9 to 5 or whatever kind of job you need to support you right now. And I know I can see that all of this issue around your path and purpose is getting you down because we have the birth of angels. Now, if I could hold this right up, when I zoom in on this in a fractal software program, these angels that are rising up are infinite. And it's like, I feel like, it's almost like the tortured artist syndrome. You're this madly creative person and you have whatever this is that you want to get out and be out here and express out into the world. And at the same time, you're dealing with this depression, and that is the word that goes along with this card, and feeling like, you don't really have a path or point or a purpose, or that, you don't know how to make your heart's work, your path and purpose. But I'm here to assure you that it is, and that's why you're getting this card reading today. And with the Birth of Angels card here, it's important that you know that when these angels are showing up in these readings, 1, you are being heard, but 2, it's because you are this beautiful, gentle, sensitive soul, and you are here to be in service to the world, and things will change. It will alter. Now, sitting with this whole story that I've been talking to you about so far is this, the recognition card. And to me, that's a twofold story, because in one way, they're talking about recognition in you really seeing the value of what it is that you have to offer in this world. We have a tendency to look at what we do and we poo-poo it. We're like, oh yeah, well, I just paint, or I just sing, or, I'm just an entrepreneur and I create business. And I'm like, whoa, it's not you're just. You are, and it's amazing, and what you do is amazing. And what this recognition card is talking about is you recognizing the value of the gifts that you have, and recognizing the value of it out here in this world, that people do value it, because the recognition is also your work being recognized in the world around you. So it feels to me with this resolutions card coming, see how it looks like everything is disjointed, right? There's these energy lines through the center, and it's just kind of like, it feels like in your life things aren't fitting together. But this is talking about these puzzle pieces coming together, and the energy of where you're at now to where it's going to be in the next month or two is two different spaces, you guys. Okay, I really want to assure you it's two different spaces. Because that resolution is talking about these things coming to alignment, like the puzzle pieces coming together in a way that you just go, this is the way through. This is the way. I get it now. Now, as a final message, we have the Fairy Magic card, okay? And with the Fairy Magic card, the biggest message with this is that this whole process, your creative process, stepping onto your path, living your purpose, being the divine expression of your gifts out here in the world, it is meant to be done from a place of enjoyment and lightness and play, and go, hell yeah, look, I'm creating this stuff and it's fun and I love doing this, and enjoying the passion that you feel and getting, that time loss when you're creating things and you just completely lose track of time. And it's really talking about coming and approaching all of this from a place of pleasure and joy and fun, lightening up. It's about lightening up. But the other thing about this card is it's talking about not being a friggin' taskmaster to yourself. Like, oh, I've got to get this done and I'm going to strangle this creativity out of me and I'm going to make something and this. No more of that. Like, let's clean that off and clear that away and come out of your head down in here to like this really, if you think of fairies, they're light and playful and they zing all around. And it is talking about balancing this energy of really feeling heavy and depressed and alone and segregated, because this is coming together. It's coming together and there's more support and love and energy. Things are moving. This resolution where you feel like you're supported on your path and people see and recognize the value of what you're doing, and you see it too. And actually coming to a place where you can start to make money from your craft. And for many of you, it will be letting go of the 9 to 5. And for some of you, it will be being more accepting of the 9 to 5 while this gets its footing, okay? Now, this is only the first part of your reading. For the other half, we have A, B, or C. Go back to the timeline, the comments, first comment, and find your selection, and I'll see you in just a sec. Hi, group number 3. How are you? There's a lot of traffic happening and the roads are wet, so it's quite noisy. Please forgive it. Okay, so for those of you who chose our beautiful little peace Buddha, we're going to put him over here, and let's see what we're going this way. I always mess this up. Okay. Earth Angel. You guys, my beautiful little souls, you guys are doubting yourselves, and you're so sensitive in this world. It can be so difficult at times. I know. Rest assured, okay? Ooh, nice. This is expansion. Beautiful. Okay, we have encoded, and it's hard to see, but deep in that card there's these patterns running all through it. They're wild. It's very crazy, matrix looking. And we have a master number 22, Cosmos of the Heart. Okay, so I feel like we need to get a couple more cards here for you guys. with Cosmos, this is about you guys really honoring your heart. And because your heart is your compass, it's your divine compass. And there's something about, it's like standing up for yourself, but it's also about going, yeah, okay, you know, I'm not taking the well-trodden path. I'm not taking the road that everybody else takes. I'm taking this journey, and you know, the path that you guys are on, you need the big scythe, is it called? You know, where you chop down, slice, or machete, and you slice down. You guys are like working your way through to get down this path, where there's a lot of people who incarnate to just live the life of incarnation without the spiritual journey aspect. And I know it's not that their lives are easy, because it's not, but it can appear like it's a lot easier to not be on the spiritual path than to be on the spiritual path. And there is something in this reading that is saying, you know, remember that this was a part of the divine plan before you came. It was a part of your soul agreement, and you were going to come as this beautiful, sensitive soul that is filled with love and joy and peace inside, and you're going to come here and learn how to express that and how to be the living expression of that. But in the meantime, as you're learning that, it's not going to be the easiest of paths. And those of us who are here to grow the most, go through the most. I just made that up. But seriously, it's true. It really is. Now, the other cards that are here, we have Fearless. Another heart card. You know, all the pinks is another color of the heart chakra. And change of mind. Okay, so it feels to me like with you guys, there's been a calling onto your spiritual path, and it's almost like, you know, sometimes we veer away from it in life. We kind of, you know, our ship gets steering in a different direction, or we just want to forget about it for a while. And then, you know, the universe kind of comes knocking, and they knock and bring us back. It's like bringing us back into this. Now, because you have this Earth Angel card, I need to remind you that you guys are here to be in service to the world. You guys are the givers. You're the caretakers. You're the healers. You're the solace. You're where people come to find solace in their soul. You are the lights that help to guide people. Okay, in your own beautiful, unique way. And that's what Cosmos of the Heart is saying. It's like, let your heart be your compass, not your mind. It's not about what your head thinks or what everybody else thinks. This is about you taking the path that your heart is telling you to take. And sometimes that can be hard, because we have so many doubts about ourselves, especially when the work that we feel called to do has a spiritual base to it. So, I mean, even if you were going to go and do something like counseling, you know, because of the core of who you are, that divinity comes through in what you do, you know, and helping people to connect to their own sense of higher self and higher power. And that can be challenging, because those jobs and those roles are so few compared to the regular old plain roles that most other people take. And so I feel like for you guys, I really need to tell you to stop comparing yourself to other people, how their gifts works or how their life works or whatever. Stay true to your heart. Now, with this change of mind card here, this is talking about a change of consciousness. Not just, I mean, it can definitely be like on that path of spiritual awakening and that kind of thing, okay? Absolutely. But this is also a change of mind, of a change of perspective of the work that you're here to do. It's a change of patterns of how you're operating in your day to day. And it's also like a change of conditioned responses. That's the way to do it. When we do become conditioned in early childhood as to what it defines us, and then we live our life in these conditioned responses. Oh, when this happens out there in the world, I do this. And it's kind of like about breaking all the conditioned responses, breaking through your perceptions of yourself in the world, starting to see the gift that you are and the gifts that you have, and allowing yourself to be this birth angel and be of spirit to the world. And with this expansion card here, this is like, that is so much energy out, it isn't funny. And I feel like in one way, Spirit is kind of calling you out to like, you've been in this kind of like holding back state is how it feels, right? Because you guys are so sensitive, there is a need for, it isn't really a need for protection, but to be careful and making sure you're engaging with like-minded, kind, loving, caring people. But right now with that expansion card, it's time for you guys to move out into the world, to spread your wings, to share yourself and share your gifts. And with this encoded card coming up, this one is all about seeing something more in the world. It's like Neo in the Matrix waking up to what the real reality is about. And so, twice I've used this word waking up with you guys. And with this, okay, so I just noticed this. So we have master number 22 and encoded is card number 2. So we have like double 2s here. Now, with that encoded card, it's talking about starting to see how things are operating in the world on a deeper level, like not just the way, the muggles, the non-magical folks look at the world. This is about you seeing it from that deeper perspective, from that base of knowing and understanding that is so very much the core of who you are. And this is also about seeing signs and getting messages and listen, like, a video like this one will just pop up on your YouTube channel, or somebody will say something to you which is something you were just thinking about this morning before you got out of bed, and to start looking for the signs, because it feels to me like with that encoded card being there, that the universe is really guiding you down this path. They're moving you forward. And you know what? Pull up your big girl panties or pull up your big boy boxers, because we have the fearless card sitting here. And I know it's very challenging to step out and do this kind of spiritual work, or to really claim your spirituality out here in the world. But with this fearless card, it's literally saying, you know what? Stay in your heart, stay within your center. You need to, this is a trust building exercise, and trust of yourself, trust of the universe, okay? And allow yourself to step out one step at a time. One step at a time, that's all you need. Now your reading is not finished. We're going to move on to either A, B, or C, so look in the timeline. It's pinned right there, and I will see you in just a second for the other half of your reading. Okay, so here we are back for part 2. That's my Canadian French, which my French is not very good. Okay, so we have, I'm sorry, it just, it never ceases to surprise me. So we have 2 cards from 2 different decks, And this one is Dragon Guide. And this is actually a really amazing fractal, because when you look deeply into this, there's more detail in person versus video, but you can see all these big dragons hiding in this fractal. And then we have Bull Guide. And both of these cards are about standing up for yourself. Dang it. So this is definitely about you guys finding your 2 feet. It's about drawing some boundaries. You know, the line is here. And that is in your personal relationships, your intimate relationships, your relationships with your family, your friends, at work. This is about like putting on a pair, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to say that nicely. And I want to grab out 2 cards, 2 more. Return of Spirit and Faith. Okay, so with the Return of Spirit card showing up, you know, I always see this as sort of like a phoenix for whatever reason, but we have these yellows at the core and then these beautiful soft pinks coming out as wings. And so that yellow really represents the solar plex chakra, and these pinks represent the heart chakra. And like, to me, because it has that phoenix sort of energy, Return of Spirit is like a return, like the wind beneath your wings, like finding wind in your sails and feeling like you've got the go and the passion to give your life another go, to step back in, you know, because the feeling is almost feeling like it's too much and you've pulled out of the game. And this is like going, okay, I'm coming back in and I can do this. I'm really getting a return of your own spirit. But this is feeling a return of the spirit too. So feeling more supported in your life. And this is like this phoenix rising from the ashes, you know, going through hell and being burned in the fire down to ash, you know, in your life and the circumstances that have happened, and then coming through this really beautiful rebirthing process from your heart, and where you're functioning in balance with all your chakras, but really embracing the power of your solar plexus in your heart, so that you're in a place of love, kindness, and compassion, understanding, but still in your power, meaning you're in a place of love, kindness, and compassion, but you're not a walkover. People can't just walk over you now. They can't just like push you and you fall over and crumple easily, right? This is about, and I'm not talking about it in a confrontational sort of way. This is this just in a very core kind of way that I'm here I am. You know, your opinion is your own. Thank you. I hear that. Thanks. But no, thank you. You know, because with both the Dragon Guide card and the Bull Guide card, like the Dragon Guide card is talking about that it's okay to stand up for you. Because you know what? You are the only one who can stand up for you. And you're supposed to stand up for you. And this is saying that it's okay for you to claim your power and claim your voice and claim your truth and stand up for you and say, this is what I want in my life. This is not what I want in my life. You know, this is how things need to happen in this area. If you're going to enter into this space, my boundary, then this is how you behave, I behave, you know, and it is about setting those boundaries. And then you have the Bull Guide card, which is a lot like the Gandhi approach in a way. You know, Gandhi was non-confrontational, but I like to use the analogy of like a bull. You know, when we see a bull in a pen, the bull just stands there and says, I'm a bull, and this is my space. You're like, oh yeah, Mr. Bull, you are a bull, and that's your space. I totally get it. And like I always say, the bull doesn't have to yell and scream and wave his arms like a maniac and the bull just stands there and says, it's my space. And so that's the bull guide card, is really talking about coming into your power in a secure fashion, right? Because when we are coming from a place of insecurity, that's when we become very reactional to everything that's happening around us. And so that bull guide card is talking about us coming into our power in a very heart-centered way, and coming to it from a place of our core truth, your own truth, whatever your truth looks like for you, and creating the boundaries so that you have a safe place to be and operate out here in the world. And this is all about relationships, and it's all about how you see and view yourself, and healing these boundaries that perhaps up to this point you've allowed the boundaries to be crossed and have allowed people to treat you in a way that was just not acceptable, that you didn't deserve that kind of treatment. And coming to know, being reborn into the truth of what you really do deserve, and to expect better of those people who are in your life. And with this faith card, it's kind of saying, you know what, creating these boundaries and stepping into your power, it can be really scary and it can be confusing and difficult. But with that faith card there, it's saying to hold on. Just hold on. Trust this process that the universe is giving you, because this is ultimately for your greatest good. Because you know what? At the end of all this, you indirectly are going to give other people who were in a similar position like you in the past, you will give them permission and teach them just by example how to claim themselves and how to be empowered for themselves. And it's also going to shift a lot in the relationships that you guys are experiencing right now. Now, this is just a general reading. If you would like a personal reading, I am available, and all my information is right there in the video description. And I want to say, take care. I wish you much love. This is an amazing reading for you guys. You got this. You've definitely got this. Take care. Hi guys. For those of you who chose B, our little Buddha. Let's see. Part 2 to your reading. We have nice astral realm, and we have awakening. Now these are two quite spiritual cards, and it's funny, it's number 3 and number 4, so it's almost like, and they're from two different decks. I need to say that it feels to me like there's some, again, this progress, this growth, and because these two cards are so spiritually based, like astral realms is really becoming aware of more than just this physical reality that we experience. And there can be a lot happening in our dream times, like having prophetic dreams and dreaming of flying or connecting with guides, or like a lot in the dream time. But astral realms is also about kind of operating in a way where you're much more connected, where it kind of the veil between this reality and other dimensions thins. So there's a lot more heartfelt connection to guides, angels, masters, beings on the other side, our loved ones, that sort of thing. And then we also have the awakening card. And I mean, that's a high energy, and is because of all those reds, it's very much a root chakra. So this is very much about getting grounded. It's like that intense, powerful Kundalini awakening sort of thing. And with the awakening card, it's talking about really coming into being called to true enlightenment, to truly coming to know who you truly are, that you are God incarnated. So a lot of this message is about disconnecting from the past, disconnecting from the future, and living yourself in the moment, in the now, and becoming present within yourself of who you really are, this spacious, non-local awareness that is here experiencing this physical human body focused in this consciousness, right? So for you guys, this is deeply spiritual, and I mean, we're talking like less than 2 or 3% of the population really wanting to go to the very core, to the very root, and truly wake up in the greatest sense, to know truly who I am, right? Now, I'm just going to get us out 2 more cards to see what they're referencing with this. And these guys came quite quickly to me. Okay. And the other 2 cards, wow. Okay. So we have our voice card. And to me, I love these rich metallic colors. In real life, this card looks like it's painted metal, metallic. And these look like these magical vocal cords to me. That's how I see them, surrounded in this yellow, which is all this power. And those vocal cords are these, indigo violet colors, which are all the higher chakras, right? So in a way, that voice card is talking about, absolutely your expression out here in the world, giving voice to whatever this is. But I'd have to say, to the spiritual path and spiritual journey that you're on. And, I would have to say that there's also that feeling of channeling and that sort of thing, because when I put these also, again, this is from the Return of Spirit deck, and that's from the Divine Guidance deck, but, these guys match. Look at the blues and purples and blues and purples. So it's like from here up, really becoming this connected. It's about you deepening your personal connection with spirit and the spirit realm, and perhaps being a messenger, or the other one is a teacher of some sort. Now there's a big truck passing by, I apologize. Now with this card showing up here, this is like you guys are on this really deep spiritual path, and a part of your own awakening process and coming into the truth of who you are is that you have, that again is the truck out there, just to clarify, there's a garbage truck. It's about you being like this outline of this individual, and this crown chakra being wide open and receiving. See how that energy goes right down into the crown and then out through the person. And they are talking about you making this really high level connection to spirit. And so in one way, it feels to me like, you have a voice, you have something that needs to be heard, something that needs to be shared, and to share your knowledge, your understanding. And not only that, but I feel like in this context, in regards to this reading, that there is more knowledge for you guys also to take in. Now, that could be like literally taking that time through meditation and stuff and connecting in and getting information directly through spirit. But this could also be, learning more about this path and the path of enlightenment, and like looking at masters like Ramana Maharishi and Papaji and, Eckhart Tolle, or it could be about you taking some classes and courses on meditation to begin the journey, because this is a general reading, and this reading has come to you for a reason, and it's like your spiritual awakening is quite an important thing, but each of you could be on different levels. So I'm trying to read this for you guys all individually, but there is something about you sharing your knowledge and sharing your knowledge and sharing your wisdom. And yes, you do have wisdom to share, and it is about helping others to awaken as well. Okay, so if you're just beginning this journey, yes, it can be overwhelming, like how could I possibly go out there and teach anybody? But this is the beginning of the process, it's the beginning of the message, and to really trust Spirit in the path that you're being led to take. Now, this is a general reading. If you would like a personal reading, which really focuses in on you, your path, purpose, and your life, then all my information is down below. I'd love to do a personal reading for you. And it's down in the video description. And please do like the video, share it, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I wish you guys much love, and I will see you soon. Take care. Hi, Group C. How are you? Okay. Part 2 for you. Such a poet. So what do we have? Oh, okay. We have Kuan Yin. And just to point this out, Kuan Yin is a master number 33. And we have, I love this card, Nectar. And this card is all about extracting the good and the juice out of life. Kuan Yin is all about compassion. And she's about compassion for yourself, first and foremost for yourself, and compassion for others. A lot of the time it's hard to look past people's behaviors. And what this card is talking about is seeing that people can only function from the level of consciousness that they're at any given time. And, as we go along and progress and look back, our consciousness and our awareness has expanded, and we look back and go, holy, I can't believe I had done these things in my past. And it's kind of like looking at people with those eyes, and understanding that they can only act to the degree of heart awareness that they're operating in, right? But that same compassion, and most importantly, needs to be applied to you, to yourself, right? So there's a lot of love, self-kindness, being good to yourself here, taking it easy on yourself. We tend to judge the holy bejesus out of ourselves. And that was funny. Okay, just a second, guys. All right. So we are our own worst critics. We judge ourselves the harshest. And by looking at ourselves with those eyes, we continue or perpetuate the situation and circumstances that we are living in and creating in each moment by remaining in that space. So by moving out of a place of judgment of ourselves, especially of ourselves, and affording ourselves that it is compassion, but some understanding, the same kind of thing that we would do for our best friend or for our children or for anyone that we love, is taking that same approach with ourselves. And the other card, which kind of made me chuckle, is the change of mind card. Now, with this guy, this is talking about everything that I was talking about with with Kuan Yin. So what change of mind is talking about is, again, changing your mind, your perspective, looking at the fact, having that compassion for yourself and understanding the fact that you are only operating out of conditioning, a lifetime of conditioning, a lifetime of repeating circumstances and then your repeated responses and mindset that's kept you stuck in this like holding pattern, life pattern, and breaking free of that and breaking free of those repeating patterns that also happen within our relationships. Now, I'm mentioning relationships here because this is for you and others, this compassion. But the commitment card has also come up today. And, with that commitment card, what I really want to point out is that it almost looks like this bow tie of two energies coming together and almost like tying the knot, so to speak, with this. And so to me, it has kind of like a twofold message. So in one way, this is talking about really making a commitment to your own personal growth, to really looking at and investigating your shadow side, the deeper side, the ego and false self. Because when we take the time to sit in awareness of it and to look at it without judgment, when we're doing that without judgment, we are not in the ego mind. When we're looking at ourselves in situation and just experiencing the feelings and emotions that are attached without judgment, we are more in our divine state of mind. And to be really committed to allowing that process of healing and being gentle with ourselves as we move through it, because this takes time. And it takes a real commitment. Like being on the spiritual path is probably the most difficult path that anyone can choose if they're going to be here incarnated into a body. Because along with, delving into our own spiritual understanding, that is part and parcel with understanding ourselves as a human being here. Right? So this is a commitment to your personal growth. However, it feels to me like it's also a commitment to really begin to change how you're operating in your relationships, which ultimately in turn begins to change how your relationships manifest outwardly in the world, the kind of people who gravitate to you, who come to you. And for some of you, and you will know because when I say this, it will resonate with you. But for some of you, it does mean that through this work, it strengthens a relationship that you have in your life right now that has had some trouble and, has been on some stormy seas. It's like, revisiting this relationship or really creating a stronger bond, because as you grow and change, our partners who are truly meant to be our partners stay with us and grow and change with us as well. And so for some of you, this is a strengthening of that commitment through your own commitment to your personal growth and gentleness on yourself. Now, this last card, Nectar of Life, this is like these beautiful golden honey colors in here. And in real life, it looks almost three-dimensional, and I hope that's coming across. So with the Nectar of Life card, it's talking about extracting all the good and all the juiciness out of life and starting to receive that. So I feel like, in one way, this is like a message of hope from Spirit to just hold on that that what you've been going through has been a really important part of your growth, but that it's not all just hell and high water and, storm, that there's a lot of good here for you, and a lot of good for you to experience in your relationships with others and with yourself. Okay. Now, the other part of this message is kind of like a manifesting message, in that because we are creating our reality, not always consciously, our subconscious is creating that. Okay. And so when we are creating this stuff out here, it's based on old patterns, beliefs, thoughts, ideas, and that. And it's talking about, through this change of really doing your personal growth work and working on yourself, that you create the good things in life. You start to release these old beliefs, release these old patterns and behaviors of thinking and being and acting. And in doing that, it really starts to create a beautiful sweetness in your life. And I feel like this is your hold on card from the universe. Just hold on. It is improving. Things are getting better for you, okay? Especially in the relationship department. Now, this was a general reading. My personal readings are much more focused and specific to you. So all my information is down below if you would like a personal reading. Please do hit the like button, share the video with your friends, and subscribe, because I have new videos coming out every couple days. And I want to say thank you. Thank you. Every reading I do teaches me too. So thank you for being here, and I will see you guys again soon. Take care.